Hey friends, pretty exciting stuff. We are preparing for our first multi-day passage. So far we've only been day sailing and we've had 2 overnights, one at a time. So a little less scary. But this time we've got 3 solid overnights for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sound about right?
Yeah, I think so.
We're getting ready to go from Isla Mujeres towards Key Biscayne in Florida. First one though, how you feeling?
It's a little bit hectic. The planning is the hard part. Having never done this, right? We're rookies, we know it. I'm not a meteorologist. Geri's not a meteorologist, so we're trying to figure out the weather. We're trying to figure out the right time to leave. It's a little bit stressful.
We keep looking at the weather and everybody keeps telling us to wait for a window where the wind backs around and it's coming mostly from the south.
We're told that, by March, it's going to be better, but
I don't want to wait.
So we've been running weather models on predict wind nonstop.
Multiple times a day. Every day for weeks.
Forecasting models get updated a couple times a day, and so every time they get updated, we're running the models to see what they look like and try and figure out when is the best time to leave.
I think we found the best window we're going to find. Unless we're willing to wait until March, and not being willing to do that, I feel like we are committing the cardinal sin of sailing.
Oh, we are. We never sail on a schedule, and I guess we're not really sailing on a schedule, but we're definitely sailing with some time pressure.
Yeah, just feeling impatient.
Yeah.
Let's finish our prep.
We'll figure it out. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so we've got to get prepped for a multi-day passage, and to do that, I have kind of arranged a little zone here of things that are easy to grab, we think might be necessary. So I've got stuff like extra sunglasses, sunscreen, binoculars, rigging knives and flashlights, and headlamp, our cue flag for when we arrive. Moving into the clothing zone, we've each got a stack of clothes for when it gets cool at night, things like long sleeve shirts and sweats or fleece, something like that. And then all of our wet weather things. So I've got our waterproof jackets and bibs. And one of the other really important things that to have on hand, where is it? There we go, is, you see that? It's the supply of motion sickness pills. Our favorites are the Maclazine, which we will start taking the night before we leave, and then continue taking every 8 to 12 hours as needed. And in case of nausea or vomiting, gosh, please don't let us have any of that. The ondansetron or Zofran works really well for me. In the past, it's been kind of so-so for Sean, so we'll see. And then there's food. There we go. The snack bag. Just a selection of salty and sweet things that are easy to grab. Pretzels and tortilla chips. Cookies, always a win. Peanuts and crackers. We need to pick up all the stuff and put it in its home. At this point, we're really not sure what to expect in terms of stuff moving around. So I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. So we're going to find little compartments and holes for pretty much everything, and we're probably overdoing it, but that's okay. What else do you do to get prepared for a longer crossing, at least, more than a night? If you have things that are specific that I've probably missed and it could benefit me, please drop a comment down below. I'd really like to hear about all these things, and I will make a list and I will use it. If you're ready, I'll start pulling up the bridle.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, this is so gross. There's so much stuff growing on here.
Oh yeah, mephitic ooze. All that dissolved organic matter. Gotta love it.
No, I don't love it. I think we need a new rule. We have to move more frequently, at least once a week.
Okay, I'm on board with that.
Using this pressure washer was a brilliant idea. Using the washdown pump, I'd have been here all day.
That pump, seriously, it makes the same amount of pressure as an old man with an enlarged prostate. Not much of a stream. More of a drip.
That's really sad. True, but sad. All right, we are getting close to this anchor marker. And of course, that monohull is practically sitting right on top of it. That is not helpful.
Yeah, he did park right on top of us. Well, just let me know and we'll come in as close as we can, nice and slow. I'll see what I can do from this end. I wish he'd given us more room, but maybe I can move side to side and break us loose.
Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, that did it. We are loose. Ooh, there's a lot of mud on this anchor. I'm just going to drag it in the water for a while and see if we can wash it off.
Bye, Miss Sarah. See you in the Bahamas. I think you've got about 5 minutes before it's going to start getting rough.
All right, I'm packing things up. We are all secure on deck. There is a booze cruise and 2 snorkel boats off the port bow. Can you see them?
Oh yeah, I think they're doing the YMCA.
I can hardly believe we're off. It feels like we've been planning this for months, or at least weeks. Is our course plotted all the way to Key Biscayne, or did you put us further south in the Keys?
All the way to Key Biscayne, but we've got bailouts along the way, so if things go badly or we need to, we can bail out in 2 different points as necessary.
All right, I guess if we decide that, we can adjust our course then.
Once we get out past the reef, though, we can put some sails up.
I've got the helm, so you can go up to the coach roof and prepare the main. Maybe we should have done this before we left. That would have been smart.
No worries. That's easy stuff. Okay, I'm ready to raise the main.
Looking perfect. And it's up. We've got the main raised. Woohoo! So we were anticipating that the first, 12 to 18 hours? 18 to 24 was going to be lumpy while we crossed the Yucatan Channel. It was. Did not disappoint.
Yep.
However,
After that,
well, all of our weather models suggested that the wind was going to come back around towards the south and lighten up a good bit.
fall off to almost nothing.
Almost nothing.
All the models agree, and we get out there, and guess what?
Oh my
All
God.
the models are wrong.
Everything was wrong.
Or they were wrong for where we were, at least.
Oh, it was so frustrating. So that stayed lumpy for a solid 2.5 days.
2.5 days. The wind ended up on our nose, so we weren't sailing. We had to motor a lot.
But we were planning on motoring. We knew we were going to motor. We were just thinking it was going to be a more comfortable motor.
We were planning to motor in almost no wind. Instead,
Right.
we were motoring with 20 knots on the nose.
That's a very different
It's
scenario.
completely different.
So every weather model suggested that when it came to wind against waves, we were not going to have anything after we got through the Yucatan Channel.
Super mild.
Ha! Liars. Just big fat liars.
Sea was pretty rough, and I was kind of on the edge of seasickness for days. We still got to experience some incredible beauty, including a dolphin escort for a while.
We also had a nearly full moon for this passage, and it was stunning. Truly lit up the night. The wind finally lightened up.
Took 3 days, but it did, and it came around.
When the wind came around and lightened up a good bit, we were ready to put our sails back up. So up came the main, all good, and out came the Spinnaker.
Which was great. Suddenly we're making 12, 13 knots, almost 14 knots. We're flying. It's gorgeous.
For like 30 seconds.
And then just massive explosion. Boom! And
oh my gosh.
the Spinnaker halyard broke, which the halyard is the line that pulls the sail up. And so that means the top of the sail came down about 15 feet.
So what happened was that the cover ruptured and we were left with just the core, but the core is so narrow that it doesn't hold in like the clutches.
Yeah.
So it just slipped down, and after this big boom, we're trying to figure out what happened, and I look up and the Spinnaker is kind of dangling at the top by a good 15 or 20 feet.
And that in and of itself, that's okay, we can recover from that. But what we couldn't recover from is the bottom of the Spinnaker now is in the water, and we're making 12 knots against it. And so it's getting pulled under the boat, and it's putting a crazy amount of strain on the boat. And we got it sorted, but not without losing some parts.
We lost the bowsprit. We lost the Spinnaker, which was just shredded.
The sail got shredded.
Yeah.
And we got stuff tangled up in the sail drive. Just,
Right.
to add insult to injury, which meant that the port engine is now offline, can't use it. We've got starboard engine. We're in the middle of the Gulf Stream. Wind's blowing 20 knots against us.
Yeah, but the Gulf Stream kept us moving by a couple knots, generally in the right direction.
Generally in the right direction.
Silver lining.
Yep, silver lining.
That was where we sat there and went, wow, this would make great content.
Seriously.
Where's my cinematographer?
Where are the cameras? Where are the cameras for all this?
I can't figure out how you're supposed to actually take video of the shit while the shit is happening. Geri nearly took one of our bailout spots. After we lost the Spinnaker, we were pretty demoralized. That was a really rough time.
It's hard to lose a sail.
And a bowsprit, and it was really a rough experience.
Yeah.
And we were about ready to bail out, and we thought, well, we can stop in Key Largo. That's on the way, and then maybe the next day we would go on to Biscayne Bay. But according to Navionics, we were only another 7 hours from Biscayne Bay, which we could get there same day.
We can get there.
So I pushed for it.
Yeah,
and
you did.
said I really think we should just keep on going.
The biggest concern I had was making sure we got in before dark. I didn't want to get there at dark or dusk even, because it's so shallow. The entrance is this tiny little canal, and you have to have some local knowledge to get in it, even though you have charts. But I didn't want to go in the dark.
No, I don't really want to go in anywhere in the dark.
No, it's not good.
So we decided to go ahead and push on, and it wound up being a great sail. The winds were light, and they came back around, and they were from behind us. So
yeah, they were right on the stern, which means
I have been trying very hard to tell myself every single time, be brave, Geri. Just be brave, do the things. And in the effort to be brave, I suggested we put up the Spinnaker for the first time.
Now, honestly, I have to say, I looked at her with a little bit of side eye, folks.
Oh, a lot of side eye.
Okay, it was a lot of side eye, because like we're in a channel, right? We're in Hawk Channel, coming up the Keys.
Yeah.
It's not super wide. We're still not comfortable sailing in shallow water. And shallow water, this is 12 feet, 15 feet tops. And, we're used to cruising in the Puget Sound where, you got 600 feet below you.
Right. Shallow water was anything under 50 feet.
Yeah, under 50 feet shallow. And now under 10 feet is shallow.
Got a good bit of side eye. But I dug just a little bit.
She poked the bear, and the bear grinned and said, okay, let's do it.
And now keep in mind, at this point, after losing that halyard, we do not trust a single line in our running rigging.
No.
Nothing. So consequently, there was a lot of hesitation and a good bit of anxiety, and we still did it.
And it was awesome.
And we did it, and it worked.
We successfully launched the Spinnaker on the first try.
Oh my gosh, and it was so beautiful, and it was a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
And by the time we got everything set, we got to keep it up for about, 60 minutes?
No, it was close to 2 hours.
Oh, close to 2 hours.
We had 2 hours of Spinnaker up, which is great.
At that point, we had to start edging further north because, that's the direction the channel went, and then we were out of wind angle range for this particular sail. So we brought it back down, and we did fine on that too.
And it was fine. Yeah, all the way around it turned out really good.
Anyway, it was a huge win, and we desperately needed a win.
We definitely cut it closer to sunset than I'd like, but I'm glad we got here.
I agree, but you pushed for it, and you were right. But we'll get the anchor down in time to go ashore for dinner. You ready for dropping the hook?
I am all set. Let me know when. Thanks for coming along on our first multi-day passage. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can see where this crazy journey takes us. We'd love to have you along for the ride.
See you next time.
Bye!